Welcome to Thursday's Market SITREP, coming to you from beautiful Houston, Texas, the La Torreta Resort, where I'm going to be going on shortly here at 1 o'clock Central Time for a keynote for SCI, the corporate finance team, about 100 folks, really fired up to be here. Beautiful day in Houston. Got to start out, though, with a rant, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, a fifth woman has come forward to accuse Senator Al Franken of just inappropriate sexual misconduct. This was an active duty Army officer when Al Franken was doing a USO tour. I got to be honest with you, and I posted this on my Facebook page. The man is an absolute disgrace. Let me remind you of a little incident called the Tailhook Convention. If you don't remember that, back in 1991, after Desert Storm was over with, a bunch of naval aviators got drunk, acted stupidly, to use Obama's term, in Las Vegas, shockingly. But men who were not even in that one hallway, admirals who were just maybe there for dinner that one night, didn't even know any of this was going on, their careers were absolutely destroyed. If you were at Tailhook 91, not even if you were alleged to have done anything, simply being there destroyed hundreds of naval aviators' careers. Yet this human piece of shit is still sitting in the Senate. Democrats, you're awful. John Conyers is awful. One of his fellow African-American congressmen stuck up for him yesterday saying, well, a lot of his accusers are white. Folks, and speaking of that, here's my second rant of the day. All of his accusers are white. Well, if you go to Brown University, Congressman, they could self-identify going forward as black. You got it right, folks. Look at that headline. Brown University will allow students to self-identify as persons of color. I can't. Where's my medication? I'm dying here, folks. From Al Franken to Hollywood to Matt Lauer, all these people that go out of their way to lecture you on your conduct and how you should act are themselves the ones that need their own lectures, folks. You ever notice other people, they keep to themselves? They're the ones with the correct family values, right? Don't try and foist your stuff on somebody else. As a matter of fact, the people that try and foist this stuff on you the most are usually the ones that are doing wrong. So my shit bag of the day award goes to Brown University and also to Senator Al Franken for molesting an active duty Army female officer. And by the way, when the Tailhook Convention was going on back then in 1991, Al Franken was busy in a skit wearing a diaper. Just a disgusting human being, but there's the Democratic Party for you. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Let's get to the markets, folks. Obviously, North Korea was a blip on the radar the other day. The market pulled back for about half a nanosecond and was bought when they launched that ICBM missile. Volatility spiked and then it went down. We're having another rip your face off rally today, folks. You just can't get out of the way of this market. But here's, I guess technically this will be my third rant of the day, so you're getting 3 for free. I got to be honest with you, folks. Where the hell? Well, we know where Bill Clinton was. We know what he was doing in the Oval Office. I mean specifically with North Korea. He gave them, what was it, $5 billion and 2 nuclear reactors? Madeleine Albright, his Secretary of State, that dude flew to North Korea and kissed his ass as well. Then you had George Bush, nice enough guy, maybe to have a beer with. Maybe, you'll let him throw up in your car. That type of dude. He's an idiot, too. He labeled them as part of the axis of evil, and what did he do? Nothing. Barack Obama, if he had his choice, he would have flown over there and kissed that guy's ass, too. So Donald Trump has to clean this up, folks. He's the one that's left holding the bag because now they have a missile capable of vaporizing everybody listening to my voice. How does that make you feel? Yeah, who cares, Wiz? Let's talk about Bitcoin. You're going to care about this, folks, because I'm serious. Why aren't we listening to men out there with weapons of mass destruction who say, oh, we want to kill as many, and we're going to try kill as many Americans as possible? As I often say in my live trade briefs, at least Hitler was a smart guy. And before you fall out of your chair, let me tell you what I mean by that. At least he lied. At least he lied. He signed that document, and Neville Chamberlain got out of the plane and said, I have the signed document from Adolf Hitler saying there'll be peace in our time. These dudes are wait, they're not even, they're like, folks, we're not lying. We're not kidding. Oh, you guys kid. 3 presidents didn't do anything, including a Republican, and now we got to deal with it. Folks, when this happens, it's going to be brutal. Who cares, Wiz? Dow's going through 24,000. Q3 GDP revised even higher, 3.3%, the biggest print in 3 years. We got the tax reform debate coming up here. I think we're going to have a vote today. I'm not sure. We're gonna see here. News is covering that Secretary of State Tillerson might be gone, and it looks like Mike Pompeo from CIA might be going. I think Nikki Haley's awesome. I think we should have a female Secretary of State, just so she can fly to all the Arab countries and stick her finger in their chest and tell them to suck it. Corporate tax rate in flux as Senate votes to open debate. I'll be furious, folks, if small companies like me, small businesses, S-corps, pass-throughs, the LLCs, these Apples and Facebooks, all these limousine liberals and all these huge corporations that really don't pay a nickel, I'll be furious about. And of course me and Twitter. I love my Twitter wars. People complaining that, God forbid the rich get a little bit back. Folks, half of this country, nearly half of this country doesn't pay a penny, not 1 red cent in federal tax. Not a penny. But they get money back. Now, where I come from in Jersey and Philly, that's called a bribe. That ain't called a refund. That's called a keep voting for us. How the hell does that work? You don't pay a nickel into this thing. You don't pay a nickel to use the Navy, the interstate highway system. You don't pay a nickel for anything, but you get money back? It's called a bribe, folks. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. How about Bitcoin? Folks, great article in the Journal today. This grandmother that they interviewed, she's like, when my son told me, to get into it the other day, I thought I was buying a little tiny piece of an actual coin. People have gone full retard on this, folks. It's been seen and then guess what happened today? It imploded. The cryptos are crashing. So, folks, this is one tweet. This is one hack away from going to zero. I'm not going to talk about it. I'll point you in the direction of people. If you want to trade this cryptocurrency, this is the tulip mania that we saw back in, 1600s? I'm going to date myself if I nail the date right. Just Google it, folks. Tulip mania, and see what's going on with the cryptos here. But if you want to get it, like I said the other night, I was out on Christmas on Las Olas, and even the waiters and waitresses that I know, buddies of mine, are like, hey, Wiz, how do I get into this Bitcoin stuff? You're an investor. I'm like, I don't even know what it does, folks. You can't use it. I think in this article, this one restaurant said, we were going to take it for a Diet Coke or something like that because I wanted to get a couple more. Folks, there's better ways to make money. Our bull put spreads that we put on Monday or talked about on Monday, Amazon's recovering. It's got to get above 1180, 1185. A little bit of a sector rotation the other day out of tech. Why? Because Jerome Powell, the new Fed head, had some good words to say about financials, or the words he said were bullish for financials. Money rotated out of tech for about a day or two, and then it's getting back into tech. So the SPX bull put spread that we had that we placed on Monday, we said, hey, get out of that thing in a day for about a 70-80% gain. What's the where is that one? Hold on, let me pull that up. I think it's over here. So we took a look on Monday at the 25.90, 25.85 bull put spread. That was a potential $1,400 gain in a week. And then the Amazon bull put spread is the 1182 and a half, 1180. So if we get tax reform passed, folks, and the market kind of rallies, this Amazon bull put spread, Amazon just has to sneeze a little bit to get above that 1182 and a half. Remember, in weekly options, me talking is a lifetime, and I know I'm droning on here. I gotta go get ready for this keynote. Meaning, between right now as I'm speaking and tomorrow's close is literally a lifetime. You could have a missile launch, the president could say this, the vote could go no in the Senate. So in weekly options, I call these lucky strike moments. You got to grab that filterless cigarette, take a drag on it, and you got to relax, man. There is a world of time between now and tomorrow's close, and it could go to the other way as well. They vote no on tax reform, this market could implode. So the Amazon trade is right on the cusp there, and we'll see what happens with that. Other than that, folks, I mean, you can't keep this market down. Bill Blaine had a good legendary investor, had a good article you should check out on Zero Hedge. Just talked about how something's changed, man. The downside feedback loop isn't working. Investors now believe negatives don't impact growth and the market upside is unlimited. It's just the reduction in perceived tail risks coupled with higher growth expectations has helped to push equities higher as equity risk premium moderated Translation, we're going up, we're going up, we're going up just because we don't believe hell exists. This, I mean, you talk about Bitcoin's rise. Since I said to buy the dip down here, look at this massive run we've had here, folks. It can keep going. Strong corporate earnings, tax reform. If Trump gets tax reform, he said he's going to move on to infrastructure spending. You're going to see this thing keep going on, folks. So I'm cautiously bullish. Let me say this again, especially sitting here in my flight suit. Cautiously bullish means trading's a form of combat. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. And you got it. The cautiously part is sitting on an ejection seat, making sure you have some hedges on. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in the Analyze Your Trade brief that we had to reschedule. Take a look at the volatility index, folks. It got smashed. Let me just take a look at this. We got long vol here, short vol here, long vol here, short vol here. We talked about not getting short vol because look at this, guys. Look at this is here's a great Obama teachable moment. The Dow is up, you know, triple digits, almost 200 points. The S&P is up. What's SPX? Where's my SPX? Let me just put it in. Oh, there it is. SPX is up 17. You ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? This is the biggest move in the VIX to the upside that I've seen in a long time with the VIX up. You ready for this? Write this down and take it forever. Market up, VIX up, something is up. What's the something is up? Obviously, the tax reform vote. So this is a great Obama teachable moment. And let me close out by saying this. The market, volatility can go up, folks, with the market up. I used the famous example back in May or June of 2013. I was giving a keynote to the Bank of America Merrill Lynch advisors in the Bay Area at the Ritz in San Francisco. Loved it. But that was another day. VIX was up huge. Market was up. Why? Because it was a Fed meeting where Ben Bernanke, they thought it was going to be the first meeting where he was going to come out and say, hey, we're going to start tapering or throttling back our asset purchases. Market up, VIX up, something's up. 80% of the time, the VIX will go up as the market goes down. The 20% of the time that it doesn't, the hair on the back of your neck needs to go up. So actually, I said the other day until I was blue in the face, don't get short vol unless it's a market-specific event. Folks, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., we're going to talk about getting short vol. Even if we don't get tax reform passed today and the market implodes and we get a spike in volatility, by next Friday, we won't even remember that there was a tax reform vote the previous Friday. Understand me? So I would start, if you're a member of mine right now, I'd start taking a look at a bearish double vertical on VXX. I'm going to brief this tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We're going to get short vol, and we're going to look to print some money. If you don't know what we do here at Top Gun Options, this is the first time you've heard this guy rant, and you're still listening to me, first of all, you got problems. But head to our homepage, topgunoptions.com. If you're a skier, the things will look familiar. Just go ahead and scroll down to beginner, intermediate, advanced. We have accelerated retirement portfolios. We have weekly options that we trade, and then we trade the front months and hedges. So do me a favor and grab an intermediate trial right in the middle there. I think for $28, the price of a average bottle of Pinot Grigio, you can grab a 2-week test flight into what's going on here. And especially with the tax reform debate and also the debt ceiling debate that's going to be happening here in a couple weeks with empty seats of Chuck and Nancy. This is getting good, folks. So get the popcorn, grab a 2-week test flight, and join us here at TGO. I got to run. I got to be on stage here in a little bit, and then heading back to the MIA, the 305, later tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the Analyze Your Trade session and also our weekly debrief. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless.